So if you haven't been watching the news or you've been hiding under a rock, you might not know that P. Diddy's house was raided, and there is a ton of video out there about his sons being escorted out of the house by the feds. There's a lot of controversy over it. A lot of people are saying that it was too rough. If you look at the videos, you will see that they were being slammed against the wall, they had their hands up over their heads, and they were being handcuffed with guns drawn as they were walking out of the house. So what really does happen in a raid, and did these agents go overboard? My name is Diane Bass. I am a federal criminal defense attorney, and I represent individuals who are either under investigation or who have been charged with federal crimes. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what happens in a raid, because there's all kinds of misconceptions about what actually happens during this process. So I've been in the room with assistant U.S. attorneys who insist that this is called the lawful execution of a search warrant, not a raid. But if you're at the point where you are getting raided, here's what you need to know. The U.S. attorney or whatever government agency is prosecuting you has probable cause to get a search warrant, and they've had a judge sign a search warrant so that they can enter your property. They have everything. They have your phone records, they have your bank records, they have your text messages, they know what you ate for dinner and where you ate it last week. So by the time you get to the point where you're being raided, the investigation is pretty much done, because they're showing their cards. If they were still looking for stuff, they wouldn't be coming out and letting you know that they're investigating you. Now, I've seen all kinds of raids in my career, but what they all seem to have in common is that they happen at 6 o'clock in the morning while they believe that people are still home and usually in their beds and sometimes not dressed. They have guns blazing, and there are many, many agents present. So there could be 30 cars, there could be 20 cars, but this is a massive event. So what probably happened in Diddy's case is they went in there looking for all of the electronic devices, cell phones, computers, tablets, anything that may have contained any kind of digital evidence of the crime. So in Diddy's case, we saw his sons being escorted out of the house, but in many cases, the family is present. Like I said, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, everyone is home, kids are sleeping, everyone in the family is there. During the raid, what you can expect is most people are escorted out of the house so that they can execute their search. Sometimes people are seated and they have an agent sitting there with them starting to question them, don't talk to them, but most of the time people are escorted out of the house. So in the videos, it looks like they're actually being arrested, but what's really happening is that they are preserving evidence. They don't want anyone in the house going in and destroying evidence. So over the years, I've seen all kinds of raids. Sometimes they're rough, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're very civil. I had a case, though, involving two little kids. It was a mother and father, their two little kids. The feds came out at 6 o'clock in the morning, like 30 agents with their guns drawn. These two little kids are having breakfast, getting ready for school, and they were traumatized. It was a terrifying experience for them. What ended up happening was, for the rest of the time I was representing this woman, her children and she stayed in the bedroom with a little mini fridge so they didn't have to leave, and they lived in like a 5,000 square foot house, and they had a dresser up against the door because they were so afraid that the agents were going to come back and get them. So when you're being charged, the federal government doesn't mess around. So what happens after the raid is that the agents take all of the stuff that they took and they go through it, and this can take months. So sometimes people think after a raid nothing happened, okay, I'll just go back to doing what I was doing, and that's the worst thing you can do, because I have seen cases take up to a couple of years before they're actually charged. Once they get the stuff that they want to get, they're going to go through it. They have forensic experts going through your computer, they're looking for specific text messages and emails, and this isn't their only case. So you can imagine it's going to take quite a while to go through everything. So here's what it comes down to. By the time someone is getting raided or the feds come and knock on your door to talk to you, you're probably going to be charged. So if you've been raided or the feds have come out to talk to you, call your lawyer immediately. So I don't know what's going to happen with the P. Diddy case, but if anything interesting happens, I will produce another video, so stay tuned. And if you like this video, check out my website, check out my other videos, and look forward to more content.